que os jogos de futebol deixaram já de constituir a causa dos distúrbios e são neste momento apenas um pretexto para o extravasar de violências e agressões perfeitamente gratuitas. Como era de temer, os hooligans não se limitam aos estádios e espalham o terror pelas ruas, provocando um preocupante clima de insegurança onde ninguém se pode considerar a salvo. Já não há palavras para descrever as ações dos vândalos do futebol, esses autênticos selvagens que em grupo não têm problemas em molestar homens ou mulheres de qualquer idade. Ainda mais preocupante é a frequência com que estes bandos entoam.
I was saddened by that fact, that I wasn't surprised by it. Shocked, yeah, but not surprised.
As the wind howls through the city, such a dark cloud, there's no pity. Who made the wrong deed? Who took the wrong turn? Who said the wrong words? Who made their hearts burn? No more games to play, no more race to run, no more face to lose. There's wars to be won. No more killing games, no more killing games, no more killing games, no more killing games.
29 de maio de 1985, a final da Taça dos Campeões Europeus. 38 adeptos italianos são mortos no estádio Heysel, em Bruxelas. É o clímax de 20 anos de violência no futebol inglês. Enquanto os verdadeiros adeptos se lastimavam e a UEFA bania os clubes ingleses das provas europeias, os desordeiros do futebol da Europa forneciam o seu epitáfio para este incidente horrível. Com os seus sprays, anunciaram que nada havia de mudar. Os grafites nas bancadas diziam Liverpool 38, Juventus 0. Uma advertência assustadora de que, se o futebol lhes der a oportunidade, voltarão a fazer o mesmo.
When you have 38 people killed at a football match, and in a football game which really is a world game, isn't it? Something's got to be done. The sadness of, you know, waving the husband goodbye from Turin and of course not to see them again. That to me came home to everybody. And it was all, and we had said it several times before, when is somebody going to get killed? Because these hooligans, when we see them all grounds, they're not even watching the game, they're giving it all that to the other fan. I mean, they've got to be locked away.
Ninguém podia afirmar que não houve sinais de
Recognize that there has been a terrible record of violence at European football matches in which I regret to say that English supporters have played a large part over many years. In these circumstances, the government welcomed the initial decision of the Football Association to withdraw English clubs from participation in European competitions next season.
As novas medidas policiais refletem o desagrado da Sra. Thatcher. Há mais agentes da polícia nos encontros, a assistência é revistada para ver se está armada, câmaras de vídeo são colocadas dentro e fora dos recintos e é proibida a venda de bebidas alcoólicas. No final de 1985, e pela primeira vez, um adepto do Chelsea é condenado à prisão perpétua por desordem. Mas nem estas medidas conseguem intimidar os desordeiros. Na temporada seguinte, depois de Heysel, fizeram-se centenas de prisões. Muitas pessoas ficaram gravemente feridas. E houve um novo desenvolvimento de violência entre os desordeiros, incluindo a utilização de cocktails Molotov. Billy e John são orgulhosos membros dos desordeiros do Everton. O pós-Heysel continua.
All right, organising at the pitch. We had loads of trouble last couple of weeks ago with West Ham on the service stations. There was no police there. A lad got cut up and that, like, and there's no comebacks, no nothing, like.
What you do now, you don't have your trouble at the ground. You wait in places now, you ambush them. No coppers around, you'd have a good 10 minutes out of 5 minutes. Coppers come, it's all cleared up. A few fellas are lying there and stabbed and that, but they don't know what's going on. It was on the news about it, what's the name, innit? About a Chelsea fan getting stabbed, like, no, you're not saying who it is, like, but they didn't know where to come from, like, and we know where to come from.
We've got a firm there, and he's about
Well, they locked the shelves in the
75 to 100 of us, just the hardcore, like. And we throw all these mings in, like, if we know all the bobblats and all divvies like that, they do all the shouting. Then once the toll starts, they fuck off, and we just move in for the kill, then.
Este ano, o Arsenal disputa a liderança aos desordeiros do Everton. Stephen James é dos chefes que, apesar dos esforços da Sra. Thatcher, continua a divertir-se.
Coventry tomorrow. Well, Coventry, we might get a little row at Coventry, but the police will be very, very severe and tough. So afterwards, we'll all stop off at Leamington Spa.
Well, that's a town full of old ladies and health spas and very quiet little market town. Don't even have a soccer team.
But no, they'll have young girls there. There'll be, not that I'm interested. I'll be there for a drink. They'll have also a firm of people probably that will want a row, which you won't hear about, and it'll probably kick off. As I say, kick off, a bit of punch up. We stopped at Northampton after Liverpool. We didn't actually go looking for a row, but it came straight away. Before you knew it, Northampton, I know, was playing, but in the end they was even chanting Northampton at us.
So Liverpool versus Arsenal ended up as Arsenal versus Northampton?
Yeah. We had a little row at Liverpool, but basically the police was well organised. But you went to a littler town, the police were a bit more worried, they're not used to it, and you can get away with more things, more liberties.
A maioria dos adeptos italianos não sabe nada destas últimas façanhas. O seu interesse pelo futebol inglês resume-se aos resultados mais recentes do Liverpool ou do Manchester United. A sua paixão pelo jogo reserva-se exclusivamente para os sucessos da sua equipa. Os adeptos do Turim tentam erguer o nome do seu clube acima do da Juventus, os seus rivais de Turim. Em Inglaterra, o Everton já fez o mesmo ao roubar o título de campeão ao Liverpool. Se a UEFA não os tivesse proibido de ocupar os seus lugares na Taça dos Campeões Europeus, o Everton poderia ter jogado contra o Juventus, uma perspectiva que agradou a muitos italianos que não concordam com a interdição.
Everton is not responsible of the fact of Bruxelles.
The people, the English people, the criminals must be punished and not the teams. It's not right.
We think all teams, all English teams are out of Europe in consequence to one single fact. Is not right.
We in Italy are all very sorry for this fact. Because the English teams can't play in Europe.
And do you think there will be problems if they come back after a year?
No, I don't see problem.
No, we don't see any problems.
Carlo Coccia é dos principais jornalistas desportivos de Itália e escreve para La Stampa, de Turim. Ele conhece bem a disposição dos adeptos locais e diz que alguns não desejam continuar a pensar no desastre de Heysel.
Very important that we have to forgive, because we have to think to the future of the football and the future of the sport. But at the same time, we must not forget what happened in Brussels, because the tragedy in Brussels was a very tragedy for the football, and that must never happen a tragedy like this, you know.
But in what sense are people showing that perhaps they are forgetting?
Well, they are forgetting. There was a week after the tragedy in Brussels, and the people was very excited, they were very sad.
And angry?
And angry too, you know, because they were thinking that the fault was of the English hooligans. But now I think that the situation is different. So I think that it's possible for the English team to come to Turin to play football.
But you can imagine that quite soon British clubs will be back and their fans will be back in Europe.
Yes, I think in the future will be possible.
Does that worry you?
Well, I think so, because Brussels was a very big problem, but the football, it's impossible. It's not football without fans. And England is a very big part of the European football. So the English fans have to go back to Europe to see the football matches.
Contudo, nem todos em Turim estão dispostos a receber os adeptos ingleses de braços abertos, incluindo os membros do grupo oficial dos apoiantes do Juventus.
Un po' tragici, perché ancora non si dimenticano mai quei giorni, no? Certo che non sarà una cosa facile, né? Basta che cambiano le teste.
Ma è molto difficile da cambiare. Per conto mio. Io invece seguo il calcio e lo seguo moltissimo anche in campo internazionale e ho visto purtroppo che anche il mese scorso in una partita di finale di Coppa d'Inghilterra, se non vado errato, anche lì ci sono stati degli arresti e dei feriti, perciò penso che il calcio inglese sia proprio una cosa che non tanto facilmente si possa domare, diciamo. Non verrebbero accolti così, come sono impreparati,
Avrebbero
diciamo.
pane per i loro denti.
Sì. Senz'altro quello.
Ma loro già partono con un principio un po' male, perché se partono con la guerra troveranno. Cioè se partono con la pace troveranno, quella è una cosa giusta.
Comunque io dico una cosa, i parenti che sono di qua, che sia successo dei morti, dei feriti, di quello che è successo, non mica si dimenticano così facile. Allora se vengono qua dei tifosi di quelli là che vogliono ancora fare del male, penso io che quelli là non sono mica facile da dimenticare. E allora qualche cosa succederà.
A me mi sembra che quando loro vengono qua in Italia ci basta solo un fiammifero che se fa fuoco.
O maior risco de incêndio está no meio dos bandos de jovens irascíveis que seguem as duas equipas de Turim. Os adeptos do Juventus são os combatentes ou os panteras, os do Turim, os ultras. Ambos demonstram bem o seu gosto pela violência. Chegam mesmo a lutar entre si quando não há oposição que lhes proporcione um encontro com interesse. No centro de qualquer vingança contra os adeptos ingleses estariam os combatentes do Juventus, que foram pródigos em mostrar no estádio de Heysel o seu arsenal de facas, paus e até armas de fogo. Mauro Gordinho era um dos seus líderes e teme pela vida dos adeptos ingleses caso a interdição da UEFA seja suspensa.
I think that normally people have not forget the tragedy of Brussels, okay? But there is the hooligans in Turin not have forget the tragedy of Brussels, and I think when one day there is the match with Italian teams and English team, I think there is much fighters with these supporters. Player of Liverpool and Everton, I not have the problem for arrive here. But it's the fans have the problem for arrive here, because for the hooligans, these hooligans hope one day arrive the fans of England for fighters. This is the right.
So you think it is dangerous to talk of
yes,
Liverpool fans?
I think for the Liverpool, but not only for the Liverpool fans, for the Scottish team, for the Scottish fans, for the all English fans is dangerous arrive in Turin, because there is 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 Italian hooligans want to fight with these fans.
Em Turim, diz-se não ser importante qual é a equipa inglesa que vem à Itália. Todas irão enfrentar os mesmos perigos. Não são apenas os adeptos do Liverpool que têm de ter cuidado, já que a reação não virá só dos desordeiros do Juventus. É uma questão de orgulho nacional, como nos disse Max Lamberti, um adepto ferrenho do Turim.
I think that the mood of the city is sad, because it's very difficult to forget what happened on that day in Brussels, and I hope it's a bad situation if some English team comes here and play for the supporters.
Why do you say that?
Well, because violence calls violence, and here in Turin the people will do a violent reaction in case of matches. I'm sure that it's dangerous
I've spoken to I spoke to Juventus fans here yesterday in this same stadium, who said to me, fans from Liverpool, they're welcome to come next week. They can come and play here. Their team can come and play here. They can come and watch the match here.
I really don't believe it, because when you only ask quietly, the people answers quietly. But at the moment of the same day of the eventual play will be a mess. Really, I think is dangerous. I hope never happens, because I get cold only to think about what could happen.
What do you think could happen?
Oh, a urban war. A war, really. I hope they don't come. Maybe you don't know exactly how is the situation here, because really English supporters if they come here and do only one thing to go against, like hooligans do. We have seen by television, so we can will be a bomb. The town will explode, surely.
I can explain the mind of the Italian fan, but I can't explain the reaction, the possible reaction of the Italian fans if the English hooligans will be ready to destroy and to rob.
You can't predict the reaction of those fans?
No, I can't.
What could it be?
Will be, I don't know, but I don't like to think about it.
Embora os italianos prefiram pensar em coisas mais agradáveis que o regresso dos desordeiros ingleses do futebol, estes só pensam em regressar à Europa. Não só pela violência, mas também pelos crimes eventuais que poderão cometer. Willie e Danny pertencem ao grande número de adeptos do Everton que anseiam pela oportunidade de utilizarem o futebol da Europa como desculpa para roubarem vestuário ou joias, que venderão depois quando regressarem a casa.
We understand that there was a lot of jewellery theft at that time. There's been jewellery thieving at England games.
Well, I've been
for some years.
I've been out to Belgium myself on the rob and that, like, but I don't go over on a football. We just go over on trips, you know what I mean? We went to Winterslag, the Arsenal match, and we just went over to do the business over in Brussels and that. Went across to Zurich, my mate Sammy Migger. He got caught, like, in Zurich. Got caught doing a bit of business over there. A couple of more lads have come. They've got caught over there doing the business.
What sort of business?
Jewellery thefts.
How do you go about that?
You go, there's two of these going in the shop, one going in the shop. One's talking to the shopkeeper assistants. But it's so easy over there because they've got a curtain, you see. And there's the curtain, you just go in, one's talking. This one just go like that, knock the curtain back, get what you can and get off. Turn around and look at the fella getting off. Yeah, that likes the Rolex watches, with sapphires and all that, like. When you get back home, you see the boys and flog it to them. Get yourself a nice couple of bob.
What about the result of the game? Does that matter?
Oh, well, yeah, well, it's one of the main purposes, really, of going a game, because you like to go to come back to get your own little few bob in your pocket, like. You go to the game, if you get beaten all that, like, it's shocking, aren't it?
You've been doing this since you were 15, that's 11 years, you're 26 now.
Yeah.
Yeah? How much longer are you going to be doing this?
Stopped.
You stopped?
Till the next game.
I mean, why do you go abroad to matches? Is it just for the match, or do you expect violence there as well, Danny?
Well, I go for the match, but also a lot of shoplifting, and we go for the drink, a good day out. If there's any trouble there, you just got to get involved. But I think with mostly Everton and Liverpool fans, mostly shoplifting, because they find it easier over there. When you walk in the shop, there's no floor walkers or whatever.
So you go expecting to make quite a bit of money?
Yes. Well, most time being abroad, always have come back with a few bob and clothes and whatever.
When was the last time you went?
Well, Rotterdam, the final, Everton, Rapid Vienna.
Did you make some money then?
Yes, made a few bob, Amsterdam and Rotterdam itself.
What did you do?
Well, shoplifting out the shops, clothes, bit of jewellery, and made a few bob on the day.
Roubos nas lojas ou assaltos às joalharias podem dar aso à violência entre os visitantes e os seus anfitriões. Quando os casos são acompanhados de bebedeira, as perspectivas de incidentes são maiores. Mas tudo se agrava quando os desordeiros bêbados se querem afirmar. É o que diz Peter Hutton, que se viu envolvido num incidente e que ia sendo morto a pontapé no encontro em Londres. Segundo Peter, uma vendetta italiana lançada por bandos locais poderá encorajar os desordeiros ingleses a irem à Itália. Seria, diz ele, o derradeiro desafio.
Some people maybe that is what they want, but for the, I'm talking about the majority now.
I'm talking about the hooligans.
Well, for the hooligans it might be, yeah. It probably would be the ultimate dare. But I mean, England fans, when they played in Turin, they, several years ago, there was, it didn't need this to start it. This is just another excuse to make it, to really exaggerate it, and
What do you mean by the ultimate dare?
I think if people saying there's a match in Turin, and it would be a bravado thing, and that's the way football hooligans work. It's built on machoism. The fact that you can go to clubs and you can go and you say, I went to this club, I went to that club, and that's what was that. And the 200-300 who maybe brave a match in Turin would be, boasting about it.
Os irmãos Potter são de Liverpool e estiveram envolvidos em atos graves de violência. Quanto a eles, Heysel não será o último capítulo na história da violência no futebol.
Oh yeah, it's bound to. I think it will. Because there's, as they say, there's certain factions. I mean, it's going on every Saturday still in England now. So, what's the changes on the continent? I mean, as soon as people get abroad and they're in a different country, they go mad, don't they? We're away from home. We can do anything.
I don't think
you can get away with murder.
You can put it all down to the English abroad. I mean, there is a lot to be said about the hooligans on the continent. With all the exposure that the British hooligan is undoubtedly had, and they go out to prove that they're just as tough as the English.
Well, it depends how many people are involved in the trouble. Say it's 20 onto 20, and as it started off in the Heysel Stadium, it was only a minority, and within minutes it was a full-scale riot. So I think it could happen again, definitely.
I don't think the answer is ban the clubs from Europe. I mean, say you lift the ban 5 years and let them all back in, they'll start up again.
Esta ameaça é ignorada pelos líderes do futebol em Inglaterra. Eles estão ansiosos por voltar a jogar na Europa devido aos benefícios monetários. Martin Edwards, do Manchester United, diz que a interdição é arrogante. É uma decisão dura e vasta demais. Philip Carter, do Everton, diz que, embora não seja a altura certa de se falar em dinheiro, poderão perder £500 mil se não jogarem. John Smith, do Liverpool, diz que o clube joga na Europa há 21 anos e que a sua história é tão limpa como a de outro clube qualquer. De um ponto de vista comercial, a interdição é catastrófica. Arthur South, do Norwich City, diz que o clube não devia ter sido banido e que deviam deixá-lo regressar. Se os líderes do futebol inglês forem bem-sucedidos e se Carlo Coscia tiver razão em dizer que o dinheiro tem peso, os Billys, os Johns e os demais desordeiros poderão invadir a Europa mais cedo do que a maioria das pessoas imaginou ao ver as cenas brutais no estádio Heysel. Tal como os clubes, os desordeiros adoram também o seu género de competição internacional.
Before your time, that there would be a vendetta against those fans and there would be trouble. What do you think about that?
Gang of wankers, though, aren't they? You know what I mean? When we had AC Milan here a few years ago, they got through the fucking windows and everything. They're not, and they went back in the war, didn't they? The fucking tanks went backwards, didn't they?
If Everton do get back into Europe, if English clubs do get back into Europe and Everton is one of them, would you go abroad? Would you go to Italy?
Yeah, definitely. No problem. Definitely.
No problem about Italy.
I think the time won't cancel the blood, but it's really difficult to contain the fury of the vendetta.
These animals, these hooligans, and that's the best way I can describe. Unless we can stop them from clobbering aboard with the clubs, Brussels, to me, is just the beginning.
as the wind howls through the city, such a dark cloud, there's no pity. Who made the wrong deed? Who took the wrong turn? Who said the wrong words? Who made their hearts burn? No more games to play. There's wars to be won. No more killing games. No more killing games. No more killing games. No more killing games.
Dezembro de 1985. A marcha dos desordeiros contra o resto do mundo torna-se uma realidade cada vez maior. 6 meses após os clubes ingleses e seus adeptos terem sido expulsos dos Jogos Internacionais por tempo indefinido, a FIFA abrandou a interdição. As equipas já podem participar em encontros amigáveis e a Inglaterra foi convidada para jogar em Monterrey no Campeonato Mundial. Os jornais mexicanos refletem os sentimentos mundiais em relação aos adeptos ingleses. Os títulos de caixa alta diziam "Lá vêm os animais". John Robert, do Daily Mail, exprime os receios dos jornalistas ingleses e diz: o risco de haver mais mortes é grande demais para ser corrido.
It's difficult to sort of say, well, when all clubs suffer, that, I mean, you do expect that the innocent will suffer along with the guilty, but with 92 clubs that we're dealing with here in professional football in England, it is an awful lot, and it is a pity that they've all got to suffer. I mean, they have got to suffer, but I would say that the chairman of each of those 92 clubs, if put to him the question that you put to him, would I hope say, no, that the existence of our club is not worth another life being lost.
Os desordeiros ingleses em nada mudaram desde os incidentes do estádio Heysel em Bruxelas. Os atos de violência tornaram-se comuns. Docherty fala de violência com o benefício da experiência. Ele foi atacado por desordeiros do Manchester City.
And I was coming back on the train after the match. And just as the train was getting pulled into Stockport railway station, I passed about 5 or 6 Manchester City supporters. One was a young lady with them as well. And they made 1 or 2 sort of nasty remarks to me, and I turned around and said, "What?" And before I knew what happened, they kicked me out of the train, and 4 or 5 of them attacked me, and I finished up in hospital with ruptured tendons in my knee, and I got 26 stitches in my leg. And the police asked me if I was charging anyone. I said, well, I don't know who they were, which was true. I said, but no, I'm not charging them because they'll probably get fined 25 quid anyway and get away with it. So the police charged them. They found out that they got 2 of them, I think it was. Yeah, 2 they got. They charged both of them, and they subpoenaed me to come as a witness against them. And I came as a witness against them, and they were both found guilty, and they were fined 50 quid each.
Dos aspectos mais preocupantes do regresso do futebol inglês aos desafios internacionais é a inabilidade do governo e dos responsáveis do futebol em compreenderem o que é que motiva os desordeiros. Ambos preferem considerá-los rufiões loucos e dizer que o problema não lhes diz respeito. Mas começa-se a suspeitar que existe algo de muito mais sinistro do que as pessoas imaginam no que diz respeito aos desordeiros do futebol. Stephen James é ex-paraquedista e desordeiro do Arsenal.
So like in a war, you would want the parachute regiment to be the crack regiment?
To be the best, the same sort of buzz as like in the football sense. I like Arsenal to be the top mob, the same as the Paras, you know what I mean? If the Paras got defeat, not if they got all killed and so, but if they'd be good, rather than sort of like if they had to sort of like run or something like that. I wouldn't like that.
So for Arsenal, you'd rather die than run?
No, I wouldn't like to die. I mean, sometimes you have to run, but it means more to me that if we've had a row and we've won, that is great. But if we have a row and we get beaten, then that is really bad. Then I think I would turn around and say I'd rather we didn't have the row. So I'd rather not fight. If we're going to get done, even so, not to be frightened to get to a fight, but the buzz is going there, hoping we're going to do them and they have lots of rows. Maybe get done in little skirmishes, but on the whole, to win, like, you know, say yeah, and then you talk about it for ages, you know, past conquest. It's just like the mafia. You've got to move with the times. Like they've got involved in drugs, which they never said they would ever get involved in. I don't go along with knives, and I don't think I'll ever will carry a knife. I consider myself more a crusader.
Michael Mahoney diz que é desordeiro reformado e que vive das recordações das vitórias passadas do Millwall.
There's a large element of high noon to it, isn't there? You know, to the football hooligans. It's glamorous. You see, it's everything. You know, so if you're nothing, you're saying, you know, there's loads of you. There's like 200 of you. You know, it's a phenomenal buzz.
What gives you the buzz? You've done it. What gives you the buzz?
It's so hard to describe the buzz. You know, I don't know.
But what does it feel like when you're in the middle of soccer violence?
The most exhilarating thing, one of the most exhilarating things I've ever experienced. Especially after you come back, it's coming back from an away game where like you've gone somewhere like, I remember an away game we had in Cardiff, where it was like, what's that film, Zulu? No, Zulu. I swear, that's what it's like going back to the station.
All around cities.
Peter Hutton é assistente social e, embora não esteja envolvido, é mentor de grande grupo de desordeiros do Liverpool e do Everton.
He lives in a bad housing condition, so obviously he's a hooligan. Because you look at where the Chelsea fans mainly from the home counties. You know, I'm sure a lot of them have, you know, live in expensive houses. You know, good incomes. It's a hobby. You know, it's part of the Viking tradition, probably. You know.
Independentemente de os desordeiros serem cruzados, zulus ou vikings, eles estão bem organizados. E as rixas, os motins e os ferimentos são planeados com muita antecedência.
Fights are arranged long before the games actually take place. They're arranged in places sometimes miles from the ground.
Give me some examples. I was thinking of the West Ham Millwall things.
The West Ham Millwall thing's an ongoing situation we've going for years. They've met years ago in the 70s. They used to meet practically every Sunday at Whitechapel Station and fight, and it would be just like West Ham Sock Boys and Millwall Sock Boys, and they'd batter each other. No police there. It's crazy.
How would the arrangement be made?
Well, in that sort of case, it's quite easy because South East London and East London aren't that far apart, and there are people from South London that go to Millwall, and there are people from East London that go. Sorry, there are people from South London that go to West Ham, and there are people from East London that go to Millwall. So there's an interchange anyway, and it's quite easily arranged, that sort of thing. But games like the one last season where Millwall played Bristol, and they smashed up the Black Horse pub, that was arranged during the summer in Ibiza, on the beach.
You would meet up in a pub a week before the game. Well, based probably on the day of the game, we would say, right, we're all going to go in the Tottenham end, or we're all going to buy a ticket. We're going to get 200 tickets for Chelsea, which is what we're going to do this year. By the time this film comes out, it'll already be done. And we're going to go in the seats in the Chelsea part of the ground. So that is all down to planning. But sometimes you can say, oh no, we shouldn't have done this. There weren't enough of us to go in there, and you get done. And if you get done, most of the time when you get done is either there's not enough of you, and that is like, even so there's only a few of you, you should never have done it because you got done, like, you know, it's so bad planning, organisation.
Can you actually predict, for example, this season, which will be the games where, as they put it in Liverpool, there'll be a kick-off, there will be violence?
Your London teams, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, West Ham, Man United, Man City, they'll be the general games, like, expect much trouble. And we say we've got Man United Boxing Day, you know, it should be a Boxing Day. You know, always a lot of trouble between the two teams.
Danny é apoiante do Everton e acha que quando há violência é preciso envolver-se nela. Envolver-se significa andar armado. Willie é fã ferrenho do Everton que utiliza o calendário dos desafios de futebol para planear atos de violência e o seu itinerário de roubos, devidamente armado, é claro.
Fortunately, like, one of them got slashed now. You know what I mean? One of the lads done the business on them.
What do you mean, did the business on him? What did he do?
Put him open, like, on the arse.
With a what?
With a blade, and I just, the lads, I know, like, carry blades on them and all that, like, in case anything mad happens. We don't go looking for it. If anyone wants it, like, we'll give it to them.
Do you carry one?
Sometimes, yeah, depends who we play.
Well, which teams would you have to carry one?
Oh, notorious London clubs, Manchester, Leeds, basically any team now, because you can get the likes of Leicester who slashed Everton fans, you know what I mean? So it's always advisable to take a bit of a seal with you, like, just in case you get on top.
What sort of thing would you take with you?
Just take a nice little modelling knife. You can easily stash it.
Something you use for cutting wallpaper or something?
No, that's too bulky. Like, you carry a little modelling knife, you know, little thin thing it is, and it folds up so you can't cut yourself like you're running or walking or getting legs or getting filled in.
And there's this thing now with the Stanley blades. They're the thin knives. People used to use them strictly for cutting carpets. Well, they've become very popular and they're very efficient. And people tend now, instead of just having fisticuffs, whereas when I used to go, it was mostly fisticuffs, and it was unusual for people. People did get stabbed, but it wasn't commonplace. Nowadays, everyone just gets slashed.
Now the introduction of the Stanley knife, which is like opens a debate who first started using that, but I mean it's like commonly known that you know, in Liverpool and Everton situation, they were, you know, fairly widely used at an early stage, you know, in the popularity of them. I think what now, over the last 2 seasons, Liverpool fans and Everton fans started using flares, you know, distress flares, tugboat flares, which wasn't seen in Britain, and it was a new thing. They'd got that directly from the continent, over going to European matches and becoming, you know, they were like the victims of European matches where flares were used against them, and they saw that as a, you know, legitimate size of a pen, and it was the type of weapon you could easily smuggle into a ground, or, you know, wasn't obviously on your person. And I think it will escalate. It will get to, you know, I mean, I've heard reports of like CS gas getting used, you know, at Liverpool matches this season.
You'll always get weapons, but
we saw a gun at Brussels.
Yes, that was an Italian, wasn't it? Like, you know, I mean, they've got different laws out there. I mean, but in London, it might build up to that stage. Years ago, they used to take slug guns.
A polícia sabe bem que estas não são ameaças vãs e que os desordeiros falam muito a sério. Aqui está uma seleção de armas confiscadas em desafios na região de Manchester. Incluem objetos mortais como bolas de bilhar, navalhas, facas de mato, matracas e correntes. A falta de preocupação dos líderes do futebol, que estão dispostos a arriscar este género de motins, é realçada por algumas das figuras mais respeitadas do futebol.
But nobody's done anything about it. Nobody's done anything about it, and our game is suffering, isn't it? And when you come to death, well, that's when the government and the police have got to step in and say, right, you bastard, you might not be, you could be innocent, but lump them all together and lock the bastards away and throw the key away.
Well, the thing is that these people who keep saying that they'll do it again as well, you know, you've got to put them away for life, really, haven't you? You know, you've got to get rid of them. They're no good to the community, really. And I think that people who do it, you've got to, for a start, you've got to give, for minor offences now, I think, which will happen this year, I think they've got to give stiff sentences. You know, they've got to give them 5 or maybe 10 years and get them out of the way for a long time. And I'm sure they'll come around to their senses when they're about 25, 26. They'll come around to their senses and say, did I do that? They've got to. You know, people can't just go around Europe and England just beating up people, maiming them, and not regretting it. There must be something wrong with it.
Let's have conscription for football hooligans. Let's find some nice little corner of an airfield somewhere on the Yorkshire moors or in Dartmoor or somewhere, or in the Highlands of Scotland, and have it as a prison camp, if you like. Let's use the word. Let's have it as a prison camp. Wire them in, barbed wire the lot, and let a few of the old sergeant majors, and who I think would be probably more than happy to deal with the situation.
Nem sequer opiniões destas conseguem impressionar os desordeiros. Este homem foi preso ano passado por ter atacado selvaticamente fã do Manchester United.
In British football, why did he go to Italy? He went to Italy because it was his living, and so Dennis Law went as well, so he could earn a few pounds over in Italy, more than what he'd earn in Britain. It's not their game, it's our game.
He says you're destroying his game.
It's not his game because he's a mercenary. Jimmy Greaves is a mercenary and Dennis Law is a mercenary. When has Dennis Law ever have to pay to go into watch a game of football? Never. When has Jimmy Greaves have to ever pay to go in and watch a game of football. He's never done it. When has Jimmy Greaves ever sat on a van for 15 hours going down to Ipswich or other weird places to watch a game of football? He's never done it. So it's not their game, it's our game.
Of course it is.
If Jimmy Greaves had never been born, no one could give a toss. Just because he was a good footballer and like he's a media person, then everyone jumps around him and says, well, what's Jimmy Greaves got to say about it? Who gives a toss what Jimmy Greaves got to say about it? No one.
Well, what do they know, these men? People like Bobby Robson, he's gone on record saying burn the bastards, talking about Millwall fans, when Millwall fans attacked Ipswich fans at Millwall. Now, what does he know? He's grown up, all he's done is kicked a football, lived in Newcastle or somewhere, kicked a football, played for a football team, played well, started managing a football team. What does he know? What does he care about anything other than him, his immediate family? I don't think he even cares about football that much. All they're saying they care about the game. Well, they're caring about, they're getting money out of it. What do they care about? What do they care about the game?
Well, it's fair enough they get money out of it. Surely everybody's paid for what they do. He does his job well, as you just said. Why shouldn't he be paid?
I didn't say he did it that. I don't think he does it that well.
Well, let's not.
But all of them, it's like this attitude they have that it's like Martians creating the trouble. It's the people they grew up with creating the trouble. You know, they're all from the working class. They should know what's going on. It suits them to have a two-page spread in the Sunday Mirror or whatever saying, oh, football jobs are this and that, and what I do with them is birch them. You know, perhaps they should be birched every time their team loses 2 games on the trot. How would Don Howe feel if he was being birched?
Os desordeiros não ligam às ameaças de poderem ser presos. Mahoney descreve as desordens como o dia mais perfeito possível e diz que a violência é uma espécie de vício.
It gives you so much. Saturday afternoon, that thing, being with your friends and being looked up to, and if you haven't got a job, people looking after you because they're working and you're not. The camaraderie or whatever it's called. It's a drug, and people, like, if they're having unhappy lives, that's what they turn to. That's why you've got old football hooligans as well, you know, like past 30, because it's like the one place where they can go and be like a king for a day.
Os artigos dos jornais não conseguem retratar o que se passa na cabeça dos desordeiros. Stephen James gosta da tensão que a violência gera e também do perigo de esperar até verem o branco do olho do inimigo.
The West Ham mob in Plastone, they was all tooled up and that, and they come charging down us. I'm not thinking we're going to run because there was just like a bit of a rabble, I suppose. I don't think we're going to run through their reputation, but we was organised. Whereas part of people like me in my military training and that was in a full line. We had only the main rails to the front. We had time to organise it while we could still see them coming down, just like in the films, like, you know. When you see, you know, don't shoot till you see the whites of their eyes. We held back till they threw all their tools at us, their bottles, and then by that time their bottle had gone a bit. Their front, they was getting worried. See we not running with them, we made the onslaught and charged them. From there we battered them.
A filosofia de Danny é simples. Ou eles, ou eu.
Does that mean a lot to be good at fighting?
It means a hell of a lot. It means your name to be respected. Like, it means it's a great buzz. Like, you know, you could say feel important, but I feel I've got a decent enough job, like, to be important. It's a different type of buzz. It's just like your claim to fame. Whereas a footballer, his claim to fame is being a good footballer. My claim to fame is being well known and respected throughout the mobs, plus my own mob.
Há uma convicção generalizada de que são as condições de vida como as que existem em Liverpool que causam a violência no futebol. Depressa demais se denuncia o desemprego como sendo a raiz do problema. É verdade que Liverpool está em primeiro lugar no que diz respeito a habitações degradadas, a elevado nível de desemprego e violência no futebol. Contudo, os membros do bando de Stephen James parecem representar uma secção mais vasta do extrato social inglês.
Now, like, we even arrange dues. Like you have the Arsenal Supporters Club do, we have the Arsenal Thugs do. Where we, last one we had was in a hotel in Russell Square.
That's quite a posh hotel.
Yes, yes. We only like the best, like, you know, we go there suited up and plenty of girls and that. Most, might be 300 blokes there, but 295 of them will all be Arsenal gooners, the mob. Maybe 200 girls. and there'll be no trouble in that. We'll have a bit of a laugh, sing song, talk about a few bits of violence and that, and generally have a laugh.
What sort of people are we talking about? Unemployed people or what?
We've got people that are unemployed, people that are employed, people that might support an extreme organisation, people that might support the other extreme organisation.
Rich people?
Rich people, poor people.
What rich people have you got?
We've got people that drive Rolls Royces, property developers.
And fight at football matches?
And fight at football matches. I'm not a rich person, but I'm comfortable. I've got my own business.
Own house?
My own house.
Own
garage, my own car. And
you're a respectable person?
Respectable person, I'm a friendly person. Everybody would never believe, oh no, not him. He's not like that, he's a really nice bloke. I'd help an old lady going across the road.
Poderia ter acontecido em 1986, um ano após os acontecimentos no estádio de Heysel e dos bons propósitos que a seguir foram anunciados para resolver o problema. Mas houve quem pensasse que era cedo demais. Tommy Docherty teve sob a sua direção uma quantidade de clubes de Primeira, incluindo o Manchester United.
Well, I would recommend to my board, first of all, that we don't get to Europe. I mean, if we qualify for Europe, I would say we don't go until it is possible or is guaranteed 100% certain that there'll be no trouble.
Mas Edwards, do Manchester United, para comentar. Resposta. O Sr. Edwards não deseja falar com o produtor do vosso programa em circunstância alguma. Philip Carter, do Everton. O Sr. Carter não deseja falar convosco. Contactem a Liga. Não, ele não lhes fala ao telefone. Peter Robinson, do Liverpool. Não estou disposto a dar mais entrevistas sobre o desastre do estádio de Heysel. O Sr. T.J. Nash, do Leeds United. Recebemos a vossa carta, não têm autorização para filmar no campo. Os horrores de Bruxelas parecem ter desaparecido como um mau resultado, um encontro perdido. O presidente da Liga insiste que o hooliganismo do futebol é, no fundo, um problema da sociedade.
The biggest problem of all, perhaps, has been football's inability to accept that it was a problem for them. We've heard all along, right through from the 60s, whenever there's been a riot, the people in football have said, this is not a football problem, it's a problem for society. Now that's true, it is a problem for society, but if people are rioting at football grounds, and more likely on the way to football grounds in towns and cities, that is a problem related to the football that they're going to. And football just would not accept that, for a long time, that it was their problem. I mean, that's like being attacked by a gorilla in a zoo and blaming it on Africa.
Talvez as últimas palavras devam ser ditas por Ted Crocker, secretário da Associação de Futebol. Pouco depois da interdição dos clubes ingleses, Ted Crocker disse: aqueles que protestam e dizem que o castigo é muito severo devem ver atentamente os filmes. E a quem restar dúvidas deve olhar de mais perto. Pouco menos de um mês mais tarde, a tristeza de Ted Crocker começou a diminuir. Se após 12 meses conseguirmos demonstrar que os desordeiros perceberam a mensagem, os nossos clubes poderão voltar à Europa. Depois, Ted Crocker congratulou-se com a redução da interdição da FIFA. Talvez seja a altura de lhe lembrar o que ele declarou como respeitado chefe do futebol inglês logo após Heysel. A interdição não será um choque curto e grande, será um choque longo e grande. Parece que não foi longo nem grande, mas para alguns ficará para sempre na memória.
Killing games, no more. 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 more games to play. No more. No more race to run. No more. Watch a man ride.